Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindobhyaeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta koti Vaishnav Vrind ki jai. Namacharya Śrīla Haridas Thakur ki jai. Śrīla Prabhupāda ki jai. प्रेम से बोलो जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय. Hare Krishna. I am Supriya. I welcome all the devotees in the mid-morning japa session and Prabhupāda-līlāmṛta reading. I thank all the Mataji who have joined this Līlāmṛta reading. So once again I welcome all the Matajis, and can I know who are all joining this morning?
Hare Krishna Mataji, this is Vinaya and Vrinda.
Hare Krishna Vinaya Mataji and Hare Krishna Vrinda. Please accept my humble obeisances. Śrīla Prabhupāda ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. Thank you so much Vinaya Mataji and dear Vrinda for joining this Līlāmṛta reading every week consistently and giving your sweet association. Hare Krishna.
Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Śrīla Prabhupāda ki jai, Śrī Gurudev ki jai, Vrinda.
Hare Krishna Vrinda Gopika Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. Śrīla Prabhupāda ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. Thank you so much Vrinda Gopika Mataji for joining consistently and giving your beautiful association Mataji for this Līlāmṛta reading. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Śrīla Prabhupāda ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. Priti Dasi Prabhupāda. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Priti Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. Śrīla Prabhupāda ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. Thank you Mataji, we are very happy to have your association on this Līlāmṛta reading. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Mataji, I believe this is your first time Mataji, right?
Yeah, but I don't have any book or anything.
Oh, okay. Okay Mataji, you can listen Mataji and you can share your...
Yeah,
and
I am just listening. Okay.
Yeah, no problem Mataji. But thank you so much Mataji for giving your association. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Okay Mataji, I once again welcome Vinaya Mataji, Vrinda Gopika Mataji, Preeti Mataji and dear little Vrinda. So we will start our Līlāmṛta reading. So before reading our Līlāmṛta, I just want to know the details. We are reading volume 6 and the chapter 54, and the chapter heading is At Home in Vrindavan. And now we are going to start with paragraph. Śrīla Prabhupada was becoming more and more in favor of departing from the world. From there we have to start our reading, today's reading. So we would like to start our vocational prayers. So anybody would like to do... Okay Vrinda, please go ahead.
Om Jnana Tipiradasya Nandadalasaya Daksharam Vidannena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jai Nityananda Jaya Chandra Jaya Gora Bhakta Vrinda.
Oh, okay. Shri Chaitanya.
Shri Chaitanya Samsvapilammena Bhutale Sarambupa Mayam Tadati Sadavatilam.
Hey Krishna.
Hey Krishna Kadasandindu Dina Bandhu Jagatmate Gopika Gopika Radha Gata Pure Tata Kata Voragi Radhe Vindaram Prade Vijavanu Sudevi Padavami Haripriya Vacha Balvan Robasya Kipati Dubaya Vacha Padidana Pavane Pyo Vaishavya Namah Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram Ram Ram. Thank you.
Śrīla Prabhupāda.
Śrīla Bhagavad ki jai, Līlāmṛta ki jai.
Wow.
Haribol Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you Vrinda, Dandavat Pranam. Mataji, it's the middle of the chapter 54 or starting. Can you please explain?
Yeah, it is like middle of the, like it is half of the chapter is completed Mataji, and you can see, you can come down half of the chapter.
Mataji, there is little 3 dots, like 3 kind of flowers is there. After that, we are going to start this paragraph. Do you want me to send a picture of it?
Yes, Mataji, we get it. Thank you. Dandavat.
Okay.
Yeah, 3 asterisks will be there from Śrīla Prabhupada. Okay, Mataji. We shall start. So, Mataji, who are going to
Can I start, Mataji?
Oh, you got it, Mataji? Okay, you can start, Mataji.
Yes. Dandavad pranam to all. Srila Prabhupada Gurudev ki jai. Srila Prabhupada-līlāmṛta ki jai. Srila Prabhupada was becoming more and more in favor of departing from the world. When Tamal Krishna remarked that Prabhupada was not drinking much, he replied that he had no inclination. I don't know what to say, Srila Prabhupada, said Tamal Krishna. It's certainly bewildering. I can only expect somehow Krishna will have to do something. Tamal Krishna requested again that they begin a doctor. Still, some husband must be there, you said. Tamal Krishna reminded, we should have a doctor's help. I still believe that after all we are not doctors. No, Srila Prabhupada, but we are already taking help of doctor. Ayurveda, that is a Yogendra Raj. You are just beginning that now, of course, said Tamal Krishna. Tomorrow you might give it up. Then what will be our option? Widows said Prabhupada with a laugh. Then he added, actually Krishna is the ultimate husband. The devotee with the Prabhupada found it very difficult to adopt his mood of looking forward to his passing away. One during Kirtana, Upendra asked if Prabhupada wanted something to drink. When Prabhupada refused, some of the devotee began to cry, thinking that if Prabhupada didn't eat or even drink, he would not remain with them much longer. The devotee was trying to be submissively resigned to Prabhupada's will, and they accepted that his direction was more and more towards leaving. They are coming to accept it, surrounding him with kirtana and not causing him by inconvenience with their problems and or demands. Whatever he wanted, they should want. But the ideas of his passing away was still almost unbearable. In their registrations, in devotee become a philosophical. Rupanuga said Prabhupada could be linked to an ambassador in the foreign country. He may have many affairs in the foreign country, but finally his call back. Jaidveta said that Prabhupada had taught his disciple everything, and that now he has teaching them how to die. Another devotee said that Prabhupada had better friends in the spiritual world. In their talks, the devotee stressed the importance of the cooperating with one another, and they discussed how ISKCON would be continued in the future. But it was all distressing, nervousness that kept running to the unpleasant but unavoidable realization that Prabhupada would very soon leave them, with Prabhupada so clearly indicating that he had dedicated to definitely leave. The devotee were becoming despondent. At best, a solemn mood prevailed. Then Srila Prabhupada said that they should consult Narayana Maharaj, a disciple of Prabhupada's sannyasa guru, for details on how to conduct the ceremony for the departed Vaishnava. He also described where his samadhi should be located and asked that after his departure, a feast by served in all in main temples in Vrindavana, with ISKCON bearing the expense. On one level, everything seemed to go on as usual. The October weather was very pleasant. The Gurukula boys were connecting with their routines, and the deities worship went on as usual. But in front of the temple, workmen began clearing a space for Prabhupada's samadhi. Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavad Pranam, Śrīla Prabhupada Śrīla Gurudev ki jai.
Thank you so much, Vrinda Gopika Mataji. Hare Krishna. Would anybody like to continue next?
Mataji, I just joined. Can you tell me where we are?
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. Yes, Mataji. Mataji, we are like, last week we read the letter and we went
Yes.
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 So after that, like a little bit, like 3 or 4 paragraphs we have completed, Mataji. Now the paragraph starts after several days.
There is a 3-star, Mataji, from there 4 stanza, maybe 5.
Okay, 4, 1.
Mataji, we are projecting now. You can see from there also.
Oh, I see. After several days?
Yes, Mataji, correct. Exactly.
Yes, Mataji.
I can read if nobody else is.
Please.
Okay. After several days of Prabhupada's not eating or drinking, Tamala Krishna tried again, but gently. You don't want to drink anything today? Let me drink Harinama Amiya Vilasa, said Śrīla Prabhupada. Here, Śrīla Prabhupada, this as a footnote. Here, Śrīla Prabhupada is quoting a song by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Chanting the holy name is my only pastime. Jai Śrīla Prabhupada said Harisori. Harinama is the sweetest nectar. Nivrutta tarsair upagiyamanam bhavau sadhat. Prabhupada quoted. This is Bhavaushada, Hari Kirtana. Here, Śrīla Prabhupada, footnote. Here, Śrīla Prabhupada is referring to a verse in Srimad Bhagavatam 10:1-4, wherein hearing about Krishna is described as the medicine to cure the material disease of taking birth in the material world again and again and suffering. Jayadvaita completed the verse. Bhavaushada chotra manobhiramat. Prabhupada acknowledged. And charanamrita, diet. Diet and medicine, let me depend on these. Although he was fasting, Śrīla Prabhupada inquired about the prasadam being served to the devotees. Now 100 or more extra devotees were at the temple and more were expected. This time, what do they supply? Asked Prabhupada. What they supply? Asked Tamala Krishna. You mean prasada? Of course. Today is the day after Ekadasi. So they had some cereal made with gur and some fruit salad made with guavas and bananas. That was all this morning. Lunch is usually substantial. Very good. This is the best prasadam that we have had in many years in India. The cook, Ayodhyapati, is doing very nicely. Do you want to know what he cooks for lunch? Prabhupada nodded slightly. He cooks an aloo sabji with dal sauce, Tamal continued, and he makes bindi, very nicely spiced, and dal, roti, spicy apple chutney, and dahi raita every day. Prabhupada asked who assisted Ayodhyapati. He didn't want any hired cooks. Only devotees are cooking, said Tamala Krishna, and it is very tasteful. And everybody, about 125 devotees, sit together and take prasadam. And the guests from the guest house also take. Everyone takes together. Everybody liked? Asked Śrīla Prabhupada, smiling. Yes, oh yes, was the combined reply of the devotees in the room. They all crowded close around Prabhupada's bed. That's nice, said Prabhupada. You are the perfect father, Śrīla Prabhupada, said one of the devotees. You provide everything for us, a place to live, food to eat, everything, and you've trained us in spiritual knowledge. Prabhupada uttered one of his deep sounds. Then he said, chant, all together, and the assembled devotees gladly began a kirtana. The room was very dark except for a nightlight behind the head of Śrīla Prabhupada's bed. Devotees were chanting softly, using only the one tiny pair of kartalas for keeping rhythm. Supriya Swami was massaging Śrīla Prabhupada's feet, Bhagatji his right leg, and Tamal Krishna his left arm. Suddenly Narayana Maharaj from the Devananda Saraswati Mat in Mathura entered along with two of his men. Prabhupada's disciples immediately gave him a seat at the side of the bed. Śrīla Prabhupada began speaking, but so softly that Narayana Maharaj had to lean over to hear. Seeing the conversation about to begin, devotees in the room, numbering about 15 or 20, moved in closer. Śrīla Prabhupada began. Śrīla Prabhupada, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, said that he should preach in Europe, America. That was his desire, and his other desire was that we all would work together jointly to preach. Yes, that is right, said Narayana Maharaj. I didn't waste a single moment, said Śrīla Prabhupada. I tried my best, and it has been successful to some extent. Śrīla Prabhupada's voice was choked with emotion. If we work conjointly, he continued, then, as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Prithivite, Sankirtana has great possibilities. Here's footnote. Here Śrīla Prabhupada refers to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's prediction that Krishna consciousness would spread to every town and village in the world. My life is coming to an end. It is my desire that you all forgive me for my mistakes. My God brothers, when you are preaching at times there are some disputes, some misunderstandings. Maybe I also committed some offenses like that. Please ask them to forgive me. When I am gone, you will all sit together and decide how you can manage for some utsava or festival for me. How much should we pay? What do you think of this? What instructions you give me, said Narayana Maharaj, I will follow them with absolute sincerity. I consider you my guru. Narayana Maharaj said that what Śrīla Prabhupada had created should be protected, and it was everyone's duty to do so. He pledged to help in whatever way he could. Śrīla Prabhupada inquired if his godbrothers, who had temples in Mathura Vrindavana, were present, and Narayana Maharaj replied that most of them were out of station. Regarding Śrīla Prabhupada's asking his godbrothers for forgiveness, Narayana Maharaj says, they are all trivial things. In this worldwide preaching, if some little things go wrong here and there, what difference does it make? It is all right. Whatever you have done for the well-being of the entire human society. There is no individual interest. Everything was done in the interest of God. He advised that Śrīla Prabhupada not worry. His disciples were worthy and would maintain things. Therefore, Prabhupada should now simply think of the Lord. Narayana Maharaj then asked his assistant, Seshasaya Brahmachari, to sing Sri Rupa Manjari Pada. While everyone listened in silence and Śrīla Prabhupada lay still, Seshasaya Brahmachari sang the song very sweetly. Next, Narayana Maharaj sang a bhajana, finishing with the refrain, Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Prabhupada. After a pause, Narayana Maharaj spoke again, this time referring to Śrīla Prabhupada's disciples. They should be told that they should never be motivated by their own self-interest, he said. They should make their mission successful. Śrīla Prabhupada turned his head slowly, looking over the devotees as they gathered in even more closely. Then slowly he lifted his hand as if to call them all to attention and said, do not fight among yourselves. I have given directions in my book. He then lowered his hands. Prabhupada's godbrother Indupati entered the room. Śrīla Prabhupada heard his greeting and repeated his request. First of all, I want to say forgive me for all my offenses. I didn't want to hurt anyone, but while preaching one has to sometimes say something that may offend others. Will you forgive me? Yes, yes, Indupati said. Maharaj, you didn't commit any offense, said Narayana Maharaj. We never thought that you did anything wrong. On the other hand, you bless us. We need it. You never did any wrong. If someone is offended by your actions, that is his fault. Narayana Maharaj gently took Śrīla Prabhupada's right hand and felt his pulse. After a moment or two, he said, pulse is all right, and your consciousness is perfect. If you have to go by the will of the Lord, then you will go perfectly. Promising to return again, Narayana Maharaj asked permission to leave, and he and Indupati and their party left the room. Śrīla Prabhupada's disciples moved back and remained silent, not wanting to instigate any conversation to unnecessarily tax Prabhupada. They appreciated Narayana Maharaj's words, but it was another final goodbye. Before the atmosphere of despair could engulf them, they began again their soft singing kirtana. Thank you, Mataji. I'll stop there.
Hare Krishna. Would anybody like to go next from what is wrong if I don't drink? Oh, sorry. Early one morning in October. Okay, Mataji, then I would like to continue. Early one... Sorry, Mataji, 1 minute.
Early one morning in October, as Śrīla Prabhupada continued fasting from food and drink, Upendra made an innocent but somewhat can you please help me with the Priti Mataji while I'm reading?
It's impertinent.
Impertinent complaint. How can you refuse to drink? He asked. What is wrong if I don't drink? Śrīla Prabhupada replied, I feel no inconvenience. Upendra added, if Śrīla Prabhupada did not drink, his body would become dehydrated. Śrīla Prabhupada made no reply and Upendra left the room. What about water? Abhiram asked. Śrīla Prabhupada thought for a moment and said, so you discuss among yourself and decide what you want me to do. Discuss. He seems to be speaking for more than merit of drinking water. Discuss about recovery. Asked Abhiram. I don't want, said Śrīla Prabhupada. You say you don't want recovery, Śrīla Prabhupada. Yes, said Śrīla Prabhupada. Abhiram then went to the outer room, the secretary's reception room, where some of the GBC men were sitting together. He dutifully mentioned what Śrīla Prabhupada had just said to discuss among themselves about his recovery. But Abhiram's remark did not seem like news. The devotees were already well aware that Prabhupada was making almost no attempt to carry on. There were signs to it. Śrīla Prabhupada wanted to leave now, to die peacefully. They had been trying to encourage him to drink, but now he was determined to simply fast until the right time comes. Right time came. Whether they could accept it or not, it was happening. Therefore, Abhiram's comment provoked no formal discussion. That afternoon, Prabhupada called for Tamal Krishna, who was at that time taking his lunch. Tamal Krishna responded at once and entered the room along with several other GBC men. They all came very close to hear what Prabhupada want to say. If I want to survive, he said, of course I will take something. These words came slowly but with difficulty. It is not possible to survive without taking any food. But my survival means so many inconveniences, one after another. Therefore, I have decided to die peacefully. His voice trailed off. Everyone was too stunned to speak. They sat looking almost blankly at him as he lay with his eyes closed. He occasionally made noise, and only after several long minutes did Tamala Krishna manage to ask Prabhupada if they should continue with the kirtan. But this time more devotees have finished lunch, were entering the room, and they began softly singing kirtan. Tamal Krishna leaned forward and assured Prabhupada about the in payment for his formal family. Prabhupada acknowledged. Don't worry, said Tamala Krishna. I will see that each of them is satisfied. They won't feel sorry in any way. You have provided for everyone. Śrīla Prabhupada. After few minutes, Prabhupada turned his attention to Hari Suri, who was sobbing silently near Prabhupada's head. With some sternness in his voice, Prabhupada asked, "Why do you want me to survive?" Hari Suri could not speak. He felt that if he asked Prabhupada to stay, it would be an offense, since he had already decided to leave. Hari Suri could not keep his emotions in check, and yet he did not want to stay and struggle. Either he nor any of others wanted Prabhupada to leave. Somehow Tamala Krishna had not got Prabhupada's last remark to Hari Suri, and so he leaned forward towards Prabhupada, half questioning. They want you to survive. If I want to die, said Śrīla Prabhupada, this is very peaceful death. You go on chanting. As the Kirtan continued, Tamala Krishna asked to be excused. Prabhupada asked why, and he replied he was going for the discussion. Said Śrīla Prabhupada, they want me to survive. If I want to die peacefully, I cannot make miracles. The physical body has to be maintained. If I am to survive, but without taking food, how the physical body will go on? This is phantasm. Everything is in the hands of Krishna, said Tamal Krishna. Śrīla Prabhupada's eyes had been closed, but suddenly he opened them and asked, Krishna wants me to do as I like. The choice is mine. Krishna has given me full freedom. I would like to stop here, Mataji. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Sorry for the mistakes that I have committed. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Vinaya Mataji, and don't feel that you have committed any mistakes, and I am also not perfect in reading Mataji, and thank you for your endeavors to read this Mataji, Līlāmṛta. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Mataji, if anybody would like to continue from next. Okay, Mataji, then I would like to continue. These words struck some of the devotees as extremely startling and different, but Brahmananda spoke up in the mood of resigned assurance. It doesn't matter whether you live or die, Prabhupada. He said, you will always be with Krishna, and we will always be with you, because we will follow your instructions. Whether I live or die, Prabhupada said, I will always be Krishna's servant. So if Brahmananda has assured me that this movement will go on, then better let me die peacefully. The devotees who were only inches away from Prabhupada heard these faint words with dismay. After a few minutes of heavy silence, they resumed the Kirtana. Prabhupada seemed to rest. Within a few minutes, all the available GBC men and senior sannyasis were gathered in the outer room. Brahmananda was feeling very low that he had told Prabhupada that everything would go on without him, and that Prabhupada had replied that he would therefore die. The devotees remained amazed at Prabhupada's statement that Krishna had given him freedom to do as he liked. These words now struck like a thunderbolt. With these words, Krishna has given me the choice. Prabhupada returned all the devotees' minds in a different direction. Abhirama reminded them that Prabhupada wanted them to discuss about his recovery, and now they were having that discussion, but they were confused and bewildered by the sudden change in Prabhupada's mood. Kirtanananda Swami was the Kirtananda Swami, the senior most disciple, spoke up with the clarity and logic. If Krishna has given Srila Prabhupada the independence to choose, that means he also has given us the independence. So we should assert our independence and ask Srila Prabhupada to stay. One by one, devotees spoke up in support for the decision to ask Srila Prabhupada to stay. Yes, it was a fact that the Krishna consciousness movement would go on without Srila Prabhupada's physical presence, but it wouldn't be the same. Yes, and Prabhupada hasn't finished translating Srimad Bhagavatam, said Brahmananda. Yes, said another. We should ask Srila Prabhupada to stay for at least 5 or 10 years. 5 or 10 years, we should ask him to stay for 100 years. But not all of the GBC members are here to decide. Well, who in the GBC is going to say that we shouldn't ask Prabhupada to stay? They were in an agreement. They did want Prabhupada to stay, and they should express their desire to him. The mood of the last few days had suddenly reversed. They were no longer in depths of despair, but were thinking positively and enthusiastically that Srila Prabhupada would stay with them. Why should we think that there is no hope for him to become fit again? Said Kirtanananda. Jesus could bring people back to life from the dead, and even mundane yogis can do it. So Srila Prabhupada certainly can if he wants. Now Brahmananda spoke up with great strength. We weren't realizing that actually we need Prabhupada. That should be the understanding. There is no question of allowing Prabhupada out of our presence for a moment. It was about 3:30 p.m. when the 20 devotees entered Srila Prabhupada's room and crowded around his bed. Srila Prabhupada lay with his eyes closed, motionless, but alert to their presence. Kirtananda Swami had been chosen to be the spokesman. And as he leaned over to speak to Srila Prabhupada, his lips began to tremble, his eyes filled with tears, and he broke down sobbing with his head to the side of the bed. Srila Prabhupada reached out but could not find Kirtanananda. Who? Said Prabhupada. Many voices spoke Kirtanananda. Srila Prabhupada then laid his hands on Kirtanananda's head and gently rubbed it. So, what do you want? He asked. No one could say anything as they were all awaiting for Kirtanananda. Brahmananda was rubbing Kirtanananda on the back to soothe him, and Tamal Krishna was encouraging him to try to say something. Finally, after another minute of emotional waiting, Kirtanananda raised his head. He looked at Srila Prabhupada and pleaded, if Krishna gives you the choice, then don't go. We need you. So this is your joint opinion? Asked Srila Prabhupada. You have discussed. He held his hand in the air and moved it round so as to indicate all the devotees. Brahmananda Swami spoke up very emotionally but positively. We have all met together, Srila Prabhupada. We want you to remind and lead this movement and finish the Srimad Bhagavatam. We said that you must remain for at least another 10 years. You have only done 50% of your work. Srila Prabhupada was listening very carefully without any movement. But when Brahmananda said 50%, he frowned and said no. Finally, he uttered a hum. He was considering the proposal. His eyes were still closed, and he seemed to be consulting Krishna from within himself. Several times he uttered and everyone was held in suspense, not able to speak or think or do anything except look intently at Srila Prabhupada. Then, with his eyes still closed, he yawned, and his golden tooth began to show. All right, he said. All right, he said. It was probably the most casual sounding decision on life or death ever made. At that moment, the devotees understood the Srila Prabhupada's independent position. He could stay or go as he chose. They had become so faithless, however, that they were thinking that his passing away was inevitable and could not possibly be delayed even by Srila Prabhupada himself. Now he displayed his wonderful transcendental nature with a simple yawn, all right, as if choosing between life and death was the most unimportant thing in the world. Harikesha gave a short laugh, the kind that he saved for when Srila Prabhupada did something completely transcendental, incomprehensible and inimitable. Jai Prabhupada, he said. Prabhupada had again proven himself to be beyond understanding. The devotees laughed nervously, unsure what was appropriate. Not knowing whether to laugh or cry, they fell silent again to see what Prabhupada would do. So give me something to drink, he said, and all the devotees shouted, Jai Prabhupada, he would stay with them. It was confirmed. Everyone was greatly relieved. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is real affection. Prabhupada replied. The atmosphere has changed. Srila Prabhupada had changed. His servants lifted him up, and all the devotees watched as he drank a full glass of grape juice. Now, instead of withdrawing his energy, as he had done steadily for last few days, he came back to life again. Then he lay back. Thank you very much, he said, Hare Krishna. And the devotees replied, Hare Krishna. So this was what Prabhupada wanted. He was drawing out their emotions and increasing their affection for him more and more by putting them into a state of transcendental distress. Now they could understand, at least to a tiny degree, what the gopis' pangs of separation were like. Srila Prabhupada was bringing his disciples to the extremes of devotional sentiments and showing that actually their lives were in his hands. After a long pause, he asked, strawberries, they have been brought. Yes, Srila Prabhupada said, Tamal Krishna, very nice strawberries. I will take some strawberries, he said. Srila Prabhupada, Tamal Krishna said, you gave your words to Krishna in Bombay that you would see him sitting in his new big temple, and you have yet to keep your words to him. Prabhupada smiled very brightly. You have fixed the date for the opening of Bombay, said Brahmananda. January was the 1st, so we would like to invite you to come. Srila Prabhupada, it is your temple. You have asked Krishna to come there. When we all gave up, you carried on the fight. Yes, that was a great fight, said Prabhupada, smiling. After so much fighting, and then to construct a big temple is a great triumph. I don't think Krishna will come into the temple, said Tamal Krishna, unless you have personally there. Srila Prabhupada to open the door. Prabhupada was still smiling. All right, he said, by chanting should not be stopped. Things should go on naturally. Turn to Kirtananda, Prabhupada asked Kirtananda Palace when it will be ready. In the early spring, Krishnananda replied, as soon as the weather is a little warmer. It gives you the chance to have a little time to repercate. Then go to Bombay and open the temple there. And then you can come open your palace. We have about 75 letters from all the devotees in the New Vrindavan. They are all begging you to come. They say their life is finished if you don't come. Mataji, I would like to stop here. Thank you for this opportunity. Mataji, anybody would like to continue? So let me take a little rest.
Hare Krishna Mataji, is it okay for you?
Hare Krishna Sita Priti Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisance. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. Yes, Mataji, please.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So let me take a little rest, said Prabhupada, and then I shall take strawberries. Later that day, Srila Prabhupada was speaking more audibly and quoting verses, including the Ishopanishad verse that says, one who acknowledges the Supreme Personality of Godhead can go on living for hundreds of years. He sat up and drank some vegetable broth. He also talked for half an hour
with Giriraj about bank matters, repeatedly questioning him to make sure he understood. He also spoke at length with Rameshwar Swami about preaching Krishna consciousness in Iran. Word spread quickly to the devotees throughout the world that Prabhupada had decided to live, especially in Vrindavan, where gloom had pervaded. The devotees were now light-hearted and thankful. They spoke more enthusiastically about preaching. All the devotees in Vrindavan agreed that everything Srila Prabhupada had been doing was for instructing his disciples. Previously, there had been discussions of Srila Prabhupada's teaching them how to die. But now there were more awareness that he was teaching them how to live by love. He was doing by increasing their love for him. Some of the devotees felt that the instructions Srila Prabhupada was giving now was his ultimate instruction, the motive for everything he did. The basis for Krishna consciousness was, in fact, love. Srila Prabhupada had written in his book, Prema Puma Artho Mahan, love of Krishna is the ultimate goal of life. Only when a devotee developed pure, unalloyed love for Krishna could he go to the spiritual world. Some of the devotees said that to bring all the devotees to a higher pure love, Prabhupada was remaining in the material world and offering his disciples the opportunity to serve him very intimately in Vrindavan. Other devotees, however, considered Srila Prabhupada's activities too grave for them to understand and simply accepted these pastimes as achintya, inconceivable. But everyone could at least understand, either by witnessing or hearing reports, that Srila Prabhupada had responded to his disciples' dependent cries of love by saying, "This is real affection." Should we stop here, Mataji, or how do we do? Should I stop here?
Mataji, you can continue for a couple of minutes, Mataji.
Okay, Mataji.
We can go to next chapter.
Okay, Mataji. Chapter 5, the final lesson. 1 second, Mataji. 1 minute.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, so, Despite his promise to live, Srila Prabhupada and his life was still in Krishna's hands. Everything was. His free choice did not mean he was absolutely independent. Rather, the pure devotee's attitude to freely surrender to Krishna, whatever happens. In the mood of the gopis, the foremost devotees of Lord Krishna, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu prayed, "You may handle me roughly in your embrace, or make me broken-hearted by not being present before me, but you are always my worshipable Lord unconditionally." Because the exchange between the Lord and his pure devotees are always supremely personal, both the Lord and his devotees express desire and individual will. In his childhood Leela, Krishna sometimes breaks Mother Yashoda's butter pot, and sometimes he allows her to catch him and bind him. In any case, the will of the Lord and the will of the devotee are always one in interest, but they are sometimes expressed in the form of a loving conflict. Similarly, although Srila Prabhupada had promised his devotees that he would stay in the world and defy death, he still remained surrendered to the will of Krishna. Srila Prabhupada had already expressed his surrender in the prayer he had given to his disciple to offer on his behalf. "My dear Lord Krishna, if you desire, please cure Srila Prabhupada." By the phrase, "if you desire," he was reminding his followers of the supreme prerogative of Krishna and was asking them to abide by it, although he was also giving them an acceptable way to petition Krishna. In a similar case in 1767, he had given his disciples another prayer. "My master has not finished his work." He had said that Krishna had responded to his prayer, granting the wishes of the devotees. Srila Prabhupada himself was responding to the devotees' prayers, and Krishna had given him the choice. But as a surrendered soul, Srila Prabhupada waited for further developments, ever sensitive to Krishna's desire. As Prabhupada had said, when invited by Kirtidananda to come to his palace in New Vrindavan. Let us see which palace I am going to. Hare Krishna Mataji, should I stop there?
Yes, Mataji. Thank you so much, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Hari Bol.
Hari Bol. Just a moment, Mataji. Just me note down. Thank you so much, all the Matajis, for reading Līlāmṛta so beautifully. So, Mataji, now we shall start our realizations, Mataji. So, I would like to request Praneshwari Mataji, Sita Priti Mataji, Vinaya Mataji, Vrinda Gopika Mataji, and Priti Mataji. Can you please share your realizations?
Hare Krishna Mataji. All glory to Prabhupada. All glory to Līlāmṛta. I was just thinking about how Śrīla Prabhupada was so, as he was giving that final lesson, the steps that he had taken. The number one, that he was asking forgiveness of his god brothers. Second thing, that Tamal Krishna had said that he had taken care of my hands are kind of cold. Yeah, he had taken care of the needs of his material family, making sure they had something in order to survive. His stipend.
Yes.
That he was also giving his devotees instructions on how they needed to not only petition Krishna, but then also accept what Krishna's plan was. This is such a completely perfect example of how one should go on and face death. And as we see, and the most important thing he was saying about how you should chant, his decision not to eat, his decision of then when his disciples requested. It's such a deep. It's very hard to understand the mood and then the plan, not only of the Lord, but even the plan of the pure devotee. As he was explaining that he was increasing the devotee's desire to have Śrīla Prabhupada remain, and how they're explaining that it was a conflict. It was a divine conflict between the desires of the plan of Lord Krishna and the plan of the pure devotee. It's like a conflict, and it's so very, very deep, and also very heart-wrenching in a sense. When we're feeling how these people are leading. How Śrīla Prabhupada is leaving, and he's preparing everybody. So it was just quite amazing to me. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji. One point it was really striking, Mataji. By reading only, if you are feeling a very intense emotion, we can imagine how the devotees surrounding him at that room in the Vrindavan, we can imagine how their emotions will be. Yeah, Mataji.
Right, and each person had their, Brahmananda said, yes, Prabhupada. And it was nice that Brahmananda said, we'll follow your instructions. That's true, we would follow instructions. I think it just brings to our attention more. More to our attention as we are, as grand disciples, and that how important it is to follow the instructions and really understand the mood of the pure devotee.
Yes, true, Mataji.
So, and like you said, if we are just reading it, we are feeling so emotional, then just imagine the mood at the time there of the devotees there, yeah.
Yes, correct, Mataji. And everybody are in confused state, and everybody are in deep depression like that. Śrīla Prabhupada may be leaving. True, Mataji, true. Thank you, sir.
And the thing is that, the Brahmananda and Kirtananda, they were there from the very, very beginning.
Yes. Yeah, you are store friend. Yeah.
Right? So quite amazing. Okay, Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much. Yeah, that was also, I was about to add, Mataji. It was nice you added, Mataji. Yeah, Vinaya Mataji, Vrinda Gopika Mataji, Preeti Mataji, Sita Preeti Mataji. Please share your realization.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you so much for Shri Lakshmi Mataji. It was very nice reading and it's very emotional when we are reading also. I just want to share a few points. Prabhupada was completely telling that, I don't want you to drink or eat anything. He just wanted, completely depend on Krishna and then leave like that. Because instead of staying and, having trouble, it's better to just leave the body in this moment. He don't wanted to even visit the hospital. Like devotees were asking, like Dr. Goshi can come and check Prabhupada, but still Prabhupada was not agreeing it. He was telling the Kirtan is the best medicine and let's do Kirtan, and then like that Prabhupada was telling, and then everybody was like, wanted to discuss about Prabhupada's health again and again, and they wanted to come with a new thought, like where Prabhupada would agree to drink or eat something so that Prabhupada's health is very good, and then he can be in this world like that. All devotees were so emotional, and Prabhupada was not coming to forward to eat or drink anything with so many any conviction also. And there was a devotees that was a book released, new book was released, and then Prabhupada saw that book, and he took it was a first volume, I guess, and then he took that book and saw the painting of Radha Krishna, and he was so happy and began to cry seeing that book, and it was so emotional. First, initially the book, whether to take it or not, some devotees were having the discussion, but as other devotee was telling that just let's take us, because Prabhupada's life was booked. If Prabhupada see these books released, new books came out, and then Prabhupada will be so happy, as we all know that Prabhupada his life was completely for writing books only, like, and then again so yeah, and finally Prabhupada was agreed to drink some juice, and then he was drinking the juice, and then everybody was so happy that Prabhupada was drinking juice and he was getting little better, and like it is all desire of Prabhupada. If Prabhupada wanted to leave, Prabhupada can leave. Otherwise, if Prabhupada don't want to leave, and then he can leave. It's completely because Prabhupada's body is not the regular body like us. It's a transcendental body, and devotees were speculating among each other, like yogis can bring their body, and then Jesus has brought their body. Why not Prabhupada? So Prabhupada is not willing to it. Let me decide to Prabhupada, like that. Like that also discussions were going, and many discussions. The discussions main thing we could see in all the devotees' heart is like Prabhupada should be alive, and so that everybody is happy. When Prabhupada ate some food and he was feeling little energy, and then everybody was so happy to see Prabhupada in that energy mood. Yeah, Mataji, these are my points. It's like very nectarian discussion that we have had today, Mataji. Thank you for the opportunity. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Vinaya Mataji. Yes, Mataji, I also thought of adding this point, like Jesus was able to make the dead man live, and other yogis, mystic yogis, and then why can't Prabhupada? So I also want to add this point, Mataji, and thank you so much, Mataji. You shared most of the points, Mataji, after Praneshwari Mataji had shared. Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji.
Vrinda Gopika Mataji, Sita Preeti Mataji, can you please share your realizations too?
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Sita Preeti Mataji, please go ahead. After that I will add.
No, Mataji, no, Mataji, you please go ahead. I'll wait for you.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Gurudev ki jai. It is very painful when we are reading Srila Prabhupada-līlāmṛta because we understand how much hard time Srila Prabhupada is past. And thank you very much, Supriya Mataji, that because of you we started to learn Srila Prabhupada-līlāmṛta, that Srila Prabhupada has full faith in that devotee. Prabhupada trained them that if he is not in this world, he is so much intense that how ISKCON is going on, but he has please forgive me, he has complete faith on lotus feet of Lord Shri Radha Gopinath, and how he trained the Vaishnava, Tamal Krishna Maharaj, Kirtanandan Maharaj, and Abhiram Prabhu and other Vaishnava Prabhupada Vaishnavas, that Srila Prabhupada has full faith that they will run ISKCON as his wish. Prabhupada trained them very attentively. When Prabhupada is there, Prabhupada is the example how we have to follow. Like we are the example, parents is the example. I cannot say my daughter to do Aarti or Puja or Shri Bhagavatam read, but whatever I will do, they will follow. Just like Srila Prabhupada is the example how we have to follow our Vaishnavas, to follow the day-to-day routine, like get up early in the morning, doing Mangala Aarti, Tulsi Puja, especially Japa, hearing Shri Bhagavatam, so that I learned today lesson that Srila Prabhupada is given us so not sleeping and given us so many books to us. At least we try to read 15 to 20 minutes, and every day without fail we have to hear Shri Bhagavatam, Chaitanya. It's really work. Our determination is going, like we feel that we will serve Vaishnava more and more. First of all, we will purify ourselves. Then pranam Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev ki jai. Thank you, Supriya Mataji, for your association.
Thank you so much, Vindagopika Mataji. Whatever you said is perfectly 100% right, Mataji. Srila Prabhupada has been a role model for all the devotees and coming generations too, Mataji, and we should spend our time at least 15 minutes each day, as you said, Mataji. And I just I just want to inform you, Mataji, that last 15 days, after you said we have to start our day with Prabhupada's Srimad Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita. From that day I am attending calls every day morning, Mataji. I just skipped 2 days, Mataji. Thanks for your suggestion, Mataji. It is helping a lot, Mataji, and with your association also I am progressing day by day, Mataji. Thank you so much, Vindagopika Mataji, and whatever you said is absolutely right, Mataji. Thank you so much, Mataji, and we miss your...
I want one more point with your permission, that Srila Prabhupada want to inform us that Vaishnava association is very important. One day last week my mom is not able to sleep 3 nights. So Vinaya Mataji said, "Where are you, Mataji? Why not coming for Shri Bhagavatam?" So this is the benefit of Vaishnava association, that they will correct us, guide us, inspiring us, taking care of us. So Srila Prabhupada informed us that Vaishnava association is very important. Thank you.
Yes. True, Mataji. Very much true. Thank you, Mataji, for adding this. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Mataji, Sita Priti Mataji, can you please share your points, Mataji?
Hi. 1 second, Mataji.
Sita Priti Mataji, can you please give your association?
Yes, Mataji, 1 second. Sorry, Mataji, it was all disturbing today. Mataji, this reading, it is such a sensitive point that we have come up to. I missed some of the points because of some call from the temple, but then it is so much of like instructive whatever is being told, because Srila Prabhupada, when you read that, you can see that Srila Prabhupada it was not that death was going to control him. You know, when one of the lines when we read there, it says that that the devotees were happy that Srila Prabhupada is living. And that itself gives chills to me. Like, that means it was only the will of Srila Prabhupada that he left the world, and it was only the will of Srila Prabhupada that he stayed for us. That means it is so, I don't know, that point, that line itself has shaken me so much, that whatever Srila Prabhupada did was for his devotees, for his disciples, and for all of us to get an example. When in the earlier part, when he was not eating, and when the devotees were very sad, it is said that the devotees were so unhappy, right? And then afterwards, when he started drinking, the devotees were happy that he is living for them, that he has decided to live. And also, what I was going to add, 1 second, I'm just missing out one thing. Yeah, so when he said that he is living, it was like the devotees became so enthusiastically preaching. So everything was revolving around Srila Prabhupada that time. His staying back created so much of happiness, and then they started planning the new Vrindavan temple. They were waiting eagerly for Srila Prabhupada. So I think, like, now also when we think about it, when His Holiness Giriraj Maharaj is there in Dallas, when he explains or when he shares his experiences with Srila Prabhupada, it is so important that Srila Prabhupada saw to it that the further generations, they get everything whatever he started with. Like when we read that Srila Prabhupada was explaining the accounts, can you just imagine that when he is so not well, but he is still thinking about everybody else, because if he is not there, how things will go up in the future, and that too with a positive perspective, like if Giriraj Maharaj has understood it thoroughly about the bank matters. So, like, I just I don't know, this was, if we are reading it at such a period, like, I just my father-in-law passed away this week. So it was so, already we were into that mode. But when we think about Srila Prabhupada, it is like that, that point which is mentioned over there, that when Srila Prabhupada was not eating, and then when he started eating, that also was a learning phase for the devotees, wherein he was giving that association in separation, that when Prabhupada is going to be separated, how it will be. So every point over there is so instructive, though, like when it is the name of Śrīla Prabhupāda-līlāmṛta is so applicable over here, that every pastime is a Leela, every pastime is a thought-provoking and an instructive, in instruction by Śrīla Prabhupada to us. I think, one time reading Līlāmṛta is really not going to, at least for me, Līlāmṛta reading only one time is not going to be helpful. But we have to just keep on reading it to understand whatever Srila Prabhupada meant by ISKCON as a whole family. Thank you, Mataji. Sorry for the disturbances, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Sita Priti Mataji. It was very nice realizations, Mataji, and I totally agree what you told, that Līlāmṛta is really Amrita, and we cannot leave any word, Mataji. I started reading, Mataji, and I felt the same feelings, Mataji. While sharing my realizations, I cannot skip any part, Mataji. Each and every word, every sentence is very important, Mataji. That is true, Mataji. What you said, I completely agree. And reminding realizations also, Mataji, what you said was absolutely right, Mataji. And these are the intense emotions of all the devotees, Matajis, and by reading only we can understand how they are feeling, Mataji. And this is really an intense reading, Mataji. And I am sorry to hear that your father-in-law passed away, Mataji. I am really sorry. And Mataji, what you told, one point, like it is on Srila Prabhupada's will that he want to stay or he want to go, that is also very striking, Mataji. Thank you so much, Sita Priti Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Preeti Mataji, can you please share any of your realizations, Mataji? Okay, Mataji. Then most of the Matajis you shared most of the points, Mataji. But I just want to share one point. I see that Śrīla Prabhupada's God brothers, Narayana Maharaj and Indupati. Śrīla Prabhupada sent the message to their God brothers that he want to see them and tell the God brothers how to take care of after departure of the Śrīla Prabhupada, how to take care of the Vaishnavas things, how to do the process, how to do the rituals. He want to let the disciples know through Narayana Maharaj and Indupati. So he called them, and at this time also, seeing this how Śrīla Prabhupada had widely spread the Krishna consciousness movement through preaching, through book distribution, through prasadam, and all above by his role modeling, how to dedicate our lives to Krishna. He did all this, and we can see his humbleness. At this moment also, he is asking forgiveness from his God brothers. If I hurt you at any point by teaching or by preaching, if I hurt you, please forgive me. This is really great, Mataji. After getting this much of success also, Prabhupada is very, very down to earth, and he is asking forgiveness from his God brothers. It really, really touched me, Mataji. From this we can learn from this also, Mataji. Whatever success we achieve in spiritually also, we should not show with our God brothers or God sisters, and we should be humble at every stage of our life. Yeah, that is very, very heart-touching, Mataji. Yeah, this point I want to cover, Mataji, and remaining most of the Matajis have covered. Thank you so much, Matajis, like Praneshwari Mataji, Sita Priti Mataji, Vinaya Mataji, Vrinda Gopika Mataji, and Priti Mataji to coming on this call and reading this Nectarian Līlāmṛta and sharing your Nectarian realizations, Matajis. Thank you so much, Matajis. Anybody would like to add any more, Mataji? Okay, Mataji. Then with this note, I would like to thank you each and every Mataji, and I would like to get your association next week also, Mataji. I would like to pay my obeisances. Vancha kalpa tarubhyasya kripa sindhubhyo nam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai.